Good evening, friends and visitors, and welcome back to the Ora News broadcast. It is now time for our English Flash News edition, in which we keep you up to date with the latest happenings here in Albania. In today's news, there is a breaking story in the Tom Doshi case, as the prosecution has requested that Tom Doshi be arrested, together with the other MP involved, Mr. Mark Frroku. The general prosecution has officially requested that the parliament authorize the arrest of these two men, saying that they are to be charged with 3 criminal offenses. If convicted of these charges, the two men could face up to 4 years in prison. The motion that was sent to the parliament by the general attorney, Adriatic Lala, explains the arguments against these two MPs. It reads, on March 3rd of 2015, the prosecution of serious crimes registered a lawsuit for the offense of attempted murder of public officials, based on the declarations of Tom Doshi. He publicly declared that he held proof that the Speaker of the Parliament, Ilir Meta, has contracted a killer in order to assassinate him, along with another MP. On the same day, the judicial police referred their materials against Durim Bami, who is suspected of being the executor of this criminal act. In the framework of the investigations for this criminal case, the investigators questioned those who had knowledge about the circumstances of the events, including several senior officials and Albanian MPs. The inquiry has led the prosecutors to believe that the case was publicly denounced by Doshi and also confirmed by him at the prosecution is in fact fabricated. No concrete and credible evidence has been found that indicates an attempt to assassinate Tom Doshi. On the contrary, based upon the evidence and facts that have been gathered during the investigation, the prosecution has concluded that this story has been fabricated by Tom Doshi, Mark Frroku, and Durim Bami. After reaching this conclusion, the prosecution of serious crimes has passed this case to the general prosecution, which has legal powers to investigate MPs. In the analysis of the inquiry material carried out by the general prosecution, it was concluded that the two MPs are suspects for the offenses of perjury, intimidation for perjury, false interpretation, and forswearing in front of the prosecutor. It has just been learned that Mark Frroku has responded to the request for his arrest. He says that he is remaining calm and that he will not resign from his mandate as an MP. He says that he is willing to go to the prosecution any time that he is called. Some of the leaders of Albania's Republican Party have been on an official visit to the country of Germany. The head of the Republican Party, Fatmir Bediu, as well as the Republican MP, Agron Duka, have been in Germany meeting with the representatives of Bundestag. They were welcomed by Dr. Franz Jung, the vice chairman of the ruling coalition, by the former Minister of Defense, and by 2 members of the CDU. They discussed the political situation in Albania and the support that Germany has given to our country in its path toward the EU. The German lawmakers openly supported the opposition concerning the issue of decriminalizing the parliament. Regarding the serious situation that has been created in the country by the denouncements of the socialist MP Tom Doshi, German lawmakers stressed the need for a transparent legal process without the interference of the government. The attitude of Germany about the case of Tom Doshi was made public by Günther Krichbaum, a member of the Committee for European Union Issues. The Democratic leader, Lulzim Basha, has announced a new commission that is going to be responsible for checking the criminal backgrounds of all candidates in the local elections. The commission will be responsible for checking whether any of the candidates have criminal records. The question is, will Basha's past also be investigated by this commission? He promised us that we will find out very soon. According to Basha, the process of decriminalization is vital for this country, and it must be done before the local government elections on June 21st. Next week, the Democratic Party will call its allies together to discuss the elections. Basha also gave a brief summary of his European tour. He said that he has gathered support for an international investigation into the Tom Doshi case. A conference for internal and external ministers was held today in Austria, and both the Interior Minister of Albania and the Foreign Minister of Albania were in attendance. The meeting was held in Vienna, Austria, and was headed by the EU Commissioner for Security. The primary focus of the meeting was the fight against corruption in the Balkans. Afterward, the Interior Minister Sajmir Tahiri gave a press conference together with the Commissioner for Security, the Austrian Interior Minister, and the Serbian Foreign Minister. Together, they emphasized the need for multi-regional cooperation in the fight against corruption. Mr. Tahiri said that Albania plays a key role in this region, thanks to the exemplary religious harmony that it represents. He also said that our country has made progress in the fight against terrorism, setting up joint investigation groups with Italy and Kosovo. He added that he was open to the same kind of cooperation with other countries in the region. There was a conference held today on digital communication, and the ambassadors from the EU and the OSCE, as well as our own Prime Minister, were all in attendance. At the conference, the OSCE Ambassador Florian Raunig drew attention to the fact that the legislation for the Albanian radio television has been blocked. He said, "For 2 years, the parliamentary parties have failed to implement the legislation as it currently stands, and failed to elect the new Executive Council of the Albanian Radio Television, or ART. This has blocked the process of turning the ART into a transmitter that is economically stable, independent, and fully professional, controlled by the public, funded by the public, and made for the public." He said. Prime Minister Rama also gave a reaction to this criticism. "There is a law that has been drafted," he said, "with the good intention of having consensus on every decision that is made. I think that there should be a modification of this law. The Albanian Radio Television is a public entity, but we should not forget that it is a company. We all know that there is no company that functions with the consensus of all the members of its board. For this reason, we will propose a change to the law that will provide the opportunity for consensus, but will not make ART the hostage of consensus," said Prime Minister Rama. In the past several days, there have been a concerning number of false bomb alarms here in Albania. Today, the state police director and the Albanian Ombudsman met to discuss this troubling issue. Afterwards, in a press release, they urged the citizens and institutions to regard every case as a serious one and to cooperate with the authorities in order to eliminate this growing problem. The state police director, Artan Didi, had this to say, "We are concerned. We have determined to give full attention to every bomb alarm, even though some of them may be false. False bomb alarms come with a psychological cost for the police and for the citizens as well. We are asking for the citizens' support in our initiative. We ask them to inform us of any suspicious case in order to eliminate this problem. We urge the citizens to cooperate with us in order to maintain safety and also to eliminate this form of psychological attack that creates a false perception of public safety." The Albanian Ombudsman also said that the situation is concerning and that the false bomb alarms are destabilizing the lives of the citizens. There are new developments in the case of the theft from the Central Bank of Albania, which took place in July of last year. The Court of Tirana has ordered 1 year and 9 months of prison for Petrit Ramohitaj, the man responsible for the issue department at the Bank of Albania. He has been convicted of dereliction of duty in connection with the heist, in which 713 million lek were stolen from the top financial institution in the country. Ramohitaj had requested an abbreviated trial and to be tried separately from the former general inspector of the bank, Elivar Golemi. On July 31st of 2014, the police arrested 5 other people in connection to the scandalous theft from the state treasury. All of them were employees of the Bank of Albania. There was a partial solar eclipse today that was visible from Albania. The Albanians were able to enjoy this rare sight for about 2 hours. During a solar eclipse, the sun is mostly obscured by the moon, creating a rare and beautiful sight in the sky. This natural phenomenon is so rare, in fact, that the last occurrence that was visible from Albania was was 17 years ago, in 1998. This event is only possible during a full moon and when the sun and moon come into alignment with the Earth. In a total eclipse, the sun is completely obscured by the moon. The eclipse took place at around 10:40 this morning, and many citizens could be seen enjoying the view from the streets and balconies. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all the news for this evening. Thank you for watching. Please join us again at the same time tomorrow for more Albanian news translated into English. Thanks, and have a great night.